I expect way more water in there.
More water. Ride shows with a celestial, spiritual kind of rise. It's a strange fantasy animal would sound like that, but it doesn't exist, so you need to kind of make it up. Hey guys, welcome back to another Composer React, and we are here back with Bas.
Hello.
Bas does a lot of sound design, composition for Keoken and Hunchback. We have been busy, for 1.5 years already, 2 years with Deliver Us Mars, coming very, very soon now.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. It's getting there. It's really cool to see the whole thing coming together.
We are reacting to a little bit of an alien movie.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's I'm really excited for the movie.
It is it's Avatar. It's the new one. So it's you had the first one more than 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And the new one is just announced. It's
yeah. Where did you watch the first movie?
I think I watched it in IMAX.
Oh, nice.
So there was a big movie. Funny enough, it slipped my radar a little bit. It's like, oh, there's this movie about blue people. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. I like sci-fi in general. But I never knew it was such a huge adventure or fantasy. It kind of slipped my brain.
Yeah.
But this one, of course, because I've seen the first one, I saw it coming by, so I needed to watch it right away. Is it going to be new wave? Is it going to be next-gen technology again?
Yeah.
So very curious.
Yeah, back in the days, 10 years ago, it was really cutting edge technology what they used, and also I think they were one of those first movies which were really setting in on 3D. And I remember seeing that, and I was really stunned back then by how cool this technology was. You know.
They brought back 3D. So I'm very curious what the new Avatar is going to do.
Yeah.
I think it's called The Way of the Water.
Yeah, I think so. I expect way more water in there.
More water. Lightstorm, James Cameron.
Nice.
This is a gorgeous world.
Yeah, this is beautiful. And those eyes, I really love the way they designed their characters. I mean, obviously, you can say blue people, but they are really beautiful, I think.
No, it's such a vibrant world, and I think they didn't use a lot of water in the first one, right?
No, it was way more in the rainforest kind of setting. I think that was also the story, right? That they were cutting down the forest or using it for mining.
I have recently watched it, and it still holds up today, which is insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think it's also a really nice combination of like sci-fi technology, alien worlds, and at the same time really tribal.
Yeah, tribal organisms.
Yeah.
It's you have this very eerie, patty, like almost spiritual.
I know one thing.
I think it's a big organ, right?
Yeah, it's an organ with some pads.
Yeah, and some voices on top of it. The voices make it really tribal, I guess.
Oh, that actually fits. That little bender on kind of the turn of the that animal in the water. I really like that.
Is our fortress.
Oh, okay. I like the small ending.
Yeah.
But funny enough, there is. It's almost only leaning only on music.
Yeah, that's really interesting. A really interesting choice. I personally prefer normally sound design in trailers.
Yeah.
Even though I do think that the music here is really beautiful and can take a lot, I'm still missing some sounds on top of it to really, draw you into the world of Avatar.
Yeah, no, I do. They have the right shows with a celestial, spiritual kind of rise. It's more of like a musical rise than kind of this intense kind of ramp up to end up to the title.
Yeah.
I do like that approach, especially when the wheel is turning. You hear that little bend. I think that's the perfect fit.
Yeah.
Only with such a vibrant world, in a way, you want to hear. You want to hear that. You want to hear the animals. You want to hear it breathe. You want to hear the organisms. The water kind of like splatter in your face. All these things. So yeah, it's interesting that they didn't really go for that.
Yeah, I think so as well, because especially with such an alien world, I remember also, if I remember correctly, they did it really well with the first Avatar, the sound design in the movie there. And I know that there are some big sound designers working on this one as well. But it's really interesting for sound designers to design a world in terms of sound which is completely unknown. There are animals which are not known, and I did a really good job on that. And it's a pity that we don't see that much in this trailer of it.
Maybe it's a teaser. Maybe they want to kind of hold back on that because they have been working on this for such a long time. Again, if you imagine that the first one came out more than 10 years ago. I did watch it, and the graphics and the stuff. I just watched it on my TV, not with 3D or anything, and it still holds up today. So I'm not sure what they did in James Cameron, but they were really pushing the limits back then. Because if it holds down today with things like Unreal 5 engine really helping out, they didn't have it back then. So that's really cool. So now, of course, pushing the boundaries with all the new technology for this one. Very curious, and probably also on an audio perspective.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be great. I mean, also with systems nowadays in cinemas, if there's a movie which is going to use that to the extent that's possible now, then I think it's Avatar.
Yeah, I'm just curious. How would you approach this world? So this is an alien world, and this is the funny thing is when you hear it, a lot of people say like, yeah, that's obvious. Like that would sound like this, or this strange fantasy animal would sound like that, but it doesn't exist. So you need to kind of make it up. How would you approach something, let's say a piece of technology in sound design or an animal that doesn't exist to create a sound for it? You need to imagine it. Where do you start from there?
Well, this is a problem that sound designers encounter all the time when designing unknown animals. And I think one of the earliest examples are Godzilla and in Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs there. So what sound designers tend to do, what works really well, is use existing sounds of animals. So you have all kinds of sounds of animals which are just super weird. You know, we have a lot of weird animals we don't know the sound of on Earth, which sound already alien. But then you can layer it with, like, for example, bowed metals. So if you place like a bow of a cello, if you place it on a metal plate, for example, then you get this really deep growls. And I know that for the first Godzilla movie, I think, which is way back, they used this kind of metal groany sounds for his voice. And you can do all this kind of stuff also for the animals in an alien world, right?
Yeah, no, I guess you base it from kind of reality, and you're like, okay, this is a big animal, looks like an elephant, so you think of an elephant, but then you think, no, but it's a little bit more growling, so therefore you take maybe a lion or a tiger, you then double that, maybe you synthesize some bases with that.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, there's really no end to it.
No.
If you design a piece of technology that doesn't exist, do you also base it on kind of the new technology that we have here on Earth? Or do you base it on something completely new?
It really depends. It really depends on the project. It really depends on the setting where it's placed in, what you want to cross with your sound design. But normally you take existing layers or existing things in that new thing, and then you layer, especially with sci-fi machines, you use a lot of synthesizers to create this kind of sounds. I think where they did it really well is Horizon Forbidden West. They played with this. So
the combination between these things.
Exactly. And then the animals where you needed, or the machines where you needed to connect with, for example, those mountbacks where you need to ride on, right? They sound way more like a horse and like an animal than the machines where you have to fight against, because those machines sound way more sci-fi-ish, way more synthesizers, because it's scary. It's way more scary.
But it would be funny if you have like this kind of huge elephant looking like a tiger, but it sounds like a computer. That sounds a little bit weird. So it needs to always be that combination that is plausible in the fiction, I believe. That's kind of a funny thing, because sometimes it doesn't make sense, but it needs to be acceptable within the realm that you think it's realistic.
Exactly. I mean, it's a little bit sad. We sound designers, we have to. Our role is to not get recognized.
Because if it's too obvious, we're like, hey, what's happening there?
Then you didn't do your job well.
That's a little bit sad if you think about it that way.
Yeah, it's also beautiful in a way. We are the unknown bringers of life to this new world, you know?
Because if you take it away, and in a way you can feel it, or at least we felt it within this trailer, when you take completely away, we feel that there is like this this kind of organism missing within it. And
sure.
of course, there's many trailers they choose to not go for sound design and they just go only with music. And sometimes it really works well as well.
Yeah.
So they just cut away this whole realistic approach of how things sound, and they just take the emotion of the music and just the silent image.
Yeah. I think in this case that even though that music carried the trailer really well, I think I would love to have heard some sound design in there.
Maybe we'll be surprised with the full movie, and I'm 100% sure this is going to be one blasting, extreme, grandiose movie with as much technology as they can put into it. That's for the next 10 years, this is going to be still great.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Very curious. The Way of the Water, was it? I think it's called like that.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like it felt very fresh. So I'm very summery. So I'm curious what James Cameron doing this one, or you don't know?
I'm not sure.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. So Titanic, Avatar, and Avatar 2.
He has really, really big projects. I mean, these kind of movies, they take years and years to make.
I really admire that ambition that you go like huge and nothing left unturned, I guess.
Yeah, and for me, that's already a reason to go to the cinemas, to experience this kind of projects, you know.
Curious about this one, Avatar.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're going to see it.
Looking forward to it.
Let me know what you think of this trailer. Also, if you have any other suggestions, leave it in the comments. And then as well, if you want to support the channel, make sure to subscribe. For now, I want to thank you for watching and see you next time. Hey there, I appreciate you watching the video. If you like this one, check out this video or that video. And if you want to support the channel, make sure to click on top of my head on the logo and subscribe to the channel.